Hello to my 425 subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing to my channel. You know, this transition or this journey from survival mode to living and thriving, it is kicking my ass. And I say that because in survival mode, or for me personally, I had taken on the identity of that I was an impulsive person, and I've always worn that identity as like a badge of honor. Like, yeah, I'm an impulsive person, I am spontaneous, I do everything, not realizing that at the core, that is a survival mode symptom. That's a symptom of someone living in survival mode, because living and thriving requires you to plan and have an idea, have a path, have predictability, and have just, continuity in everything that you do. Survival mode thrives on intensity, which borderlines chaos. Sometimes it is chaos, but living and thriving is more boring but rewarding at the end of the day. And so, unknowing to me, like in the past, I would always be drawn to the chaos and the intensity of it all, because I wore the identity of, you know, I'm impulsive and I'm spontaneous, and, I just go with the wind. But no, spontaneity is a whole different thing. Spontaneity is not that. And so one of the things I have to do, or I have to try to implement in my life, is routines. As routines are at the core of the transition or the transformation. Survival mode Natalie does not like routines. I've always thought, they were boring. And there's a part of me that does not like the idea, doesn't like the predictability. And that's simply because, as I've come to learn and understand, that is purely because I wasn't used to it, or I'm not used to it. So now I am working on implementing routines, and God, it's kicking my ass. It is kicking my ass. I keep finding myself having to like start over, you know. I'll get the routine down for 2 days, and day three, it's my mind is just resisting it. Like I want to do everything else except, or before I'm able to do the routine, it's just my brain just shuts down and I can't do anything. Like nothing. Before I do the routine, it's like my brain is saying to me, okay, before you do this routine, I'd rather do nothing, because it feels so threatened, because I'm working on hijacking the programming that was already there, and it feels threatened. So it just shuts down. Like it renders me just paralyzed mentally. And so this is just like a challenge. But I'm committed to the process. I'm committed to the process because you know what? For the period that I have done or managed to get through like a week or 2 weeks, not um consecutive days, but most days that I get through and I maintain my routine, I see the success of it and the peace of it, the peace that it brings, and just the calm, boring, but rewarding. And that's the part of it that I'm having to get used to. So, yeah, I'm rooting for me. So, for anybody else, any of my subscribers, or any of the people who have watched the 10 or 5 people or 15 people who have watched any of my videos, if you happen to be on this journey in your own life or in your own way, you know, give yourself grace. And it's natural. It's natural for you to fall off, as I am learning that it's natural for you to fall off. It's natural for you to, not feel like doing anything or just feel mentally paralyzed or not, because you are hijacking a existing programming and you are reprogramming your system, your nervous system. And we aren't wired, we're wired for success, but we are also more so wired for familiarity. And that is why when we walk into a crowd, we immediately scan the environment for a familiar face, because we are wired for familiarity over success. Success is a byproduct and it takes care of itself once we get certain things in order, as I am learning. So I'm rooting for me and I'm rooting for anyone out there that is also on this journey. So yeah, I'm rooting for you guys. Stay the course.